And hello, everyone. I'm so glad to see everyone today. In a minute, we will start our event. Everyone will be muted. Don't worry when it will be time to speak, to introduce yourself during the event. You can unmute yourself. And I see that a lot of people joined. More people will be joining as we kick off, which is right now. And if everyone is ready, let's start our event from the presentation of our side of the organizers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our final event by Network Silicon Valley Club. And I'm so happy to see you all. Welcome, everyone. We had a great time during this year doing a series of online pitch events. Besides AI, SaaS, fintech, and cybersecurity industries that we prefer to invest in, we had pitch events in health tech, space tech, gaming, robotics, and now women in VC event. We outreached to 40,000 startups and received almost 2,000 startup applications. Many of you became regular guests at our unicorn battles and joined our syndicate at Network Silicon Valley Club. Today is the final event, Unicorn Battle for US Startups, founded by women, that is sponsored by Network Silicon Valley Club. Starting next year, Network Silicon Valley Club won't be sponsoring online pitch events, and this is the final event for me as well, as I'm taking a break from my work with the Network Silicon Valley Club team, and all further events will be done in person and online at our Unicorn.Events platform and by different team completely. This team will be led by CEO of Unicorn.Events, Julia Saulenko, who is here at our event present, and event director of Unicorn.Events, Victoria Stepanenko, that you all know if you attend our events in Silicon Valley. Those girls are here today, and in a little while you will hear their presentation of upcoming events, which is very interesting. So, Network Silicon Valley Club community from now on will be meeting only on syndicate meetings dedicated to private investing into prominent companies, meaning each accredited investor that has registered on our Network Silicon Valley Club platform will be making his own personal decisions on investing into the company he can meet during a syndicate meeting. So that's a meeting where you can interact with each founder. That's like in-depth meeting, not like pitch event, but in-depth meeting where you can ask founder questions, and it also lasts like hour and a half. So I would like to use this opportunity to encourage you to become a part of Network Silicon Valley Club. You can do this by scanning this QR code. Network Silicon Valley Club Syndicate is for accredited investors, and best deals are made there. Anna Filistovich here will be your point of contact as private investors at Network Silicon Valley Club from now on. Her contact details are also in chat. And it's my pleasure to give a floor. I was supposed to give a floor to Maxim, but he's stuck in some really tough business meeting, and hopefully will be joining us a little bit later. That is the founder and leader of Network Silicon Valley Club. You all know him. And we are not saying farewell. We're exploring new opportunities and really looking forward to a new journey with every one of you. Please outreach to us and let's explore synergies. We are ready for wonderful, wonderful new businesses and new opportunities. This year was really a great one. We are grateful to all our judges who dedicated their valuable time and energy to be part of our amazing events, and really looking forward to co-investing with you in the future. Because participating in great deals is something we particularly love. And I'm honored to announce today's event for the Women in Venture Capital. This event is brought to you by Network Silicon Valley Club. Our great judges will be evaluating each startup's investment potential. At the end, we'll have a winner announced. And it's time to give thanks to our sponsors. Our platinum sponsor is Network VC, the management company of our ecosystem. Our golden sponsor is Network Silicon Valley Club, where great deals for accredited investors are made. And our silver sponsor is Startup Inc., an investor onboarding and management platform to get an access to exclusive deals worldwide. Thank you so much, dear sponsors, for your continued support. And now, please welcome our judges. It's so great to see you all. We have private investors, representatives of VC funds, experts in VC business, and business angels. So please, dear judges, open up to the world. Please introduce yourself shortly for 1 minute, starting what industry and stage you invest in. What is your sweet spot? Do you have any geographical preferences? Dear judges, please push a button to raise your hand and I will give you the floor. Yes, Mikhail. Hello, nice to see you.
Hello, thank you for having me. I represent a VC firm, a family office essentially. We invest in early stage companies, mainly seed to Series A stage tech related startups. We are very much geography and sector agnostic. And our sweet spot would be a ticket size of from 250 to 500K. So we have startups in Europe, in the US, in Latin America, a couple of them in India. So looking forward to hearing more from the startups presenting today.
We do too. Welcome, Mikhail. And Kelly. So nice to see you. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Anna. Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Luo, founder and investor of Month International, based in Toronto, Canada. I'm so excited to be here, and thank you, Anna, Maxime, Diana, for having me and organizing such a special event for women entrepreneurs. So we focus on B2B tech companies in healthcare, smart living, and the digital economy. We typically invest up to $1 million. So as a tech investor and entrepreneur myself, I deeply understand the unique challenges we women entrepreneurs encountered. So all the best for all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. James, great to see you again. Please unmute yourself.
Hey, there you go. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, greetings. As I mentioned earlier in the call, I'm dialing in tonight, and usually from Europe. I'm in Germany. I'm coming out of corporate space where I've led business units across cybersecurity risk, AI integration, data handling, and all of that stuff. So my role is really about supporting startups, supporting VCs and vetting risk and analyzing how business values impacted by the amount of or lack thereof the security and procedural mechanisms for businesses. So that's me. Thanks for having me back.
I hope you enjoy our cybersecurity company today presenting.
Absolutely.
And Hannah, hello. Please.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I am an investment manager at Techstars, and I invest in fintech companies in Latin America and AI globally.
Wonderful, and welcome to the event. Diana?
Hi, thank you so much for hosting this event. I'm Diane Bailey. I am head of platform at She Raises Capital. We are a managed fundraising services for female-led companies. Outside of She Raises Capital, I work with startups on helping them get investment ready through their pitch decks, and I also work through a variety of accelerator programs. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. Welcome. Mariette, hello.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm sorry to hear this is the last one. This has been a lot of fun. I am currently on the island of Lanai, but I am typically found in Silicon Valley. And I've been investing for over 12 years. I've invested in over 100 startups across a lot of different industries, SaaS, B2B, biotech, computing, defense tech. And I'm currently very focused on the biotech space and longevity as well. And the check sizes can range from pretty small up to $1 million, typically around 25,000 to 200,000. And I also run a nonprofit called Nimble Mindset that focuses on teaching entrepreneurship to women. And Nimble Mindset Ventures, we focus on getting companies ready for investment and focus on their pitches and their overall business plan. So thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
We do too. Welcome, Mariette. Walid, hello.
Hi, everybody, and thank you very much. Thank you, Anna, and everybody, to be here with you again. This is Walid Al-Bashir. I'm the managing partner of Intuitive Ventures. I have been in technology as an operator for several years, almost 28 years in technology, 15 years in the ecosystem in Gulf countries. And I lead Intuitive Ventures, where we help companies moving to Gulf countries to get market access after we guarantee equity in these companies. We've had several successes over the last 15 years, introducing several and backing several companies which are owning top market share in the region, and looking forward to see how female founders are going to solve today's problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Cindy, it's your time now.
Hi everyone, Cindy Ho. I am with South Street Capital. We're a Denver-based early stage VC firm, investing in both US and Canada, but pretty region agnostics and industry agnostics. Probably 60-70% of our investments are B2B SaaS, but we have done wide varieties from deep tech, medical device, all the way to SaaS software. But really excited to be here and connect with you all.
Great to have you. Welcome. Olga. Hello.
Yeah, hi everyone. Nice to see all of you again. I'm Olga. I'm the head of and CEO of Scarp Incorporated. I do the management and consulting and business coaching as independent consultant with the team, including the crisis management and also second opinion about plans, strategies, and ways to move forward. I have more than 20 years in banking, IT banking experience. I'm an angel investor, invest starting from the very early stages, including the later stages as part of syndicates, and priorities fintech development.
Welcome, Olga. Great to see you. And Sarah, hello.
Hello, Anna. It's really great to see you once again. Hi, everyone. This is Sarah Bracha, CEO at Bracha Ventures, and I'm really glad to attend this event today. It's quite sad to attend a final battle of Unicorn, but it's really great to have, to be part of this. I'm the official judge from Pakistan, and as I told you that I'm the CEO of Bracha Ventures. We are mostly focused on helping startups for their strategic and market growth, and we are currently working mostly with the AI, robotics, and fintech clients and fintech startups. So I'm really looking forward to it, that how many women are presenting to us in the same niche, and hope to connect with the great minds again.
Welcome, Sarah. And John, hello again.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm John Rainey. I'm partnered with BuiltWith.ai. I am no longer with in the agency world, happily. So actually, it's called BuiltData.ai. We offer an AI-driven platform that leverages outside data sets that transforms your customer and prospect data into strategic insights within 3 clicks. We do also invest. We're looking for startups in the data space. It would probably be sub 500,000 in terms of the monetary amount, but please reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you and give you a spin.
Great to hear that, John. Welcome. Charlotte, hello.
Hi there, everybody. It's always so great to be here. I'm Charlotta from Mighty Oaks Capital Partners, where we are industry agnostic, but we have a affinity for companies in the fintech, gaming, retail, and Internet of Things space. Our ticket sizes are usually about 250,000. We invest our own funds as well as syndicate deals. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to hearing all of the great pitches. Thank you.
We do too. Welcome, Charlotte. And Perana, hello. Please unmute yourself. We don't hear you.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Wonderful. Hey, super excited to be here, especially at the Women Founders event here. So, wonderful way to sort of culminate your amazing series of events. I'm Prerna Vaidya. I am an investor based in the Valley through my fund 2237 VC. Currently, I'm focusing on angel investing, mainly focused on disruptive digital transformation technologies coming out of India and other global markets, causing innovation at scale. I also invest through a couple of other channels, other funds, especially Net3 Futures Fund, which is a women's fund, as well as syndicates that I'm involved in. Focus, deep tech, early stage, sector agnostic mostly, and background in computer science, 8 years in investment banking and consulting, as well as angel financing in the Valley. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. Matthias, hello.
Hi, how are you? I'm Matthias from Argentina, a software engineer, also an entrepreneur. I founded 3 companies here in Argentina. I have experience working with blockchain, fintech, and IA. And well, I'm really happy to be here. And have any doubts about these technologies, you can ask me. And well, I'm here really excited to be the judge of these events.
Nice to have you. Welcome, Matthias. Jim, so nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Anna. Great to be with you guys today. My firm is JPT Ventures, which is the junction of planet and technology. And we live in such a fascinating age today that all problems do seem solvable with the right heart and minds behind them. Usually help companies in the seed to Series A realm. I'm based on the Space Coast here in Florida, but also regionally agnostic. Great to be with you guys.
Great to have you also. Welcome, Jim. So, dear judges, thank you for the introduction. Please feel free to leave your details here in chat so you can be easily connected with the startups. And
Hi,
please,
Anna. Sorry, it seems that my icon didn't work. So yeah, can I introduce myself? As
okay.
angel investor. So hi, nice meeting. I'm Kumiko, a business consultant, helping the startups expand their operations in the US and Japan. And then currently I'm supporting and investing in the B2B, SaaS, and then AI companies. And then previously I spent 15 years at Google as focusing on the business and strategy teams. And then, so I'm interested in the AI and then B2B SaaS and then the longevity as well. So I'm super excited to learn from all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming, Kumiko. David, hello also.
Unmuted. Okay, terrific. Yeah, hi, I'm David Sanker. I've been a software engineer for 12 years before I went to law school, so I'm now a patent attorney with a focus on artificial intelligence, and where I've been recognized as a top AI attorney, and I've done lots of writing on AI. And happy to participate in this event and work with lots of startups to build their patent portfolios to help protect their innovation from others. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for coming. Okay, and dear judges, please remember that you have to evaluate each startup's investment potential. You have your own voting links in your calendar and in your mail. In case you missed them, you cannot find them, please contact my team here in chat and they will send it to you here in chat or in any other way you feel comfortable with. There is a little scroll bar beneath each startup, and you have to move it from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest investment potential, 10 being the highest investment potential. Please make sure you voted for all the startups. We'll have the winner announced at the end. The winner in each category, VCs, business angels, and experts, and aggregated vote of the ultimate winner. And we have received enormous number of applications, had really hard time picking the best ones. But here you see our 7 contestants who made it all the way to our event and will pitch live today. But before they do that, I would like to give a floor to Vika Stepanenko, Event Director at Unicorn.Events and Partner Relations Manager at Network VC. With a little presentation, she will tell you what our winner will get today and present you also some programs that we have at our Network VC Venture Fund. Vika, the floor is yours.
Anna, thank you. I think to say that the winner is going to get this is just a perfect start for the presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to take a minute of your time. If you're an investor, if you're a VC, if you're a startup, you probably want to go to Silicon Valley at least once a year. If you haven't been there in a while, that should be on your travel list. With that in mind, we have an extensive network. I live in San Francisco, our managing partner, Alexander, and Maxim Strelchenko himself live in Menlo Park. We have a network of about 500 VCs, out of them, a few hundred are in Silicon Valley. And for each of the event that we do here, we get around 10 startups, and for them, we get 20 to 30 VCs and 50 to 100 investors. So we created a program that allows people from different industries and at different stages to participate in such kind of events, but also to immerse themselves in Silicon Valley. Here, I'm going to repeat this slide in a moment. Just for you, just for the event attendees, we have exclusive deal. You likely won't see this discount anywhere else, so make sure to save it later. So here are 2 things that I want to show you. The first one is Sandhill Acceleration Program. This is for startups specifically who want to get exposure to VCs in Silicon Valley, but also to learn how to best present to them and get private exclusive consultations. Here are some of the answers that the startups get the answers to. Here are some of the questions that the startups get the answers to. How to make a perfect pitch deck. This is led by a Stanford professor and investor. He gives a 2-hour private consultation to startups. How the venture market work in Silicon Valley. This is our managing partner. How the venture funds choose startups and how to prepare for top accelerators. This is made by these 2 last sections by 4 managing partners of 4 different funds, giving 2-hour test session feedback for the startups. So here are some of the speakers. You can check them out on the website itself. One of the ones that we haven't presented is Sasha Johnson. She worked side by side with Tim Draper. Vasily Duk, who's a mentor at Alchemites and a serial startup founder. And David Lee, who's an emerging market attorney at the top law firm that specializes in VC. Some of our mentors and the winner of today's session will receive an opportunity to pitch at the demo day of this program, but also the discount for 50% of the full Sandhill Acceleration Program. It's a full day event. You can check it out with the link. There's quite a lot that I can't unfortunately put in this short time. If you like that one, but you want to see more, We have a Menlo Park University. This is our new trademark. You can see it on the market. And this program is a few days spent in Silicon Valley, curated by us to get exposure to the top corporations, top companies, top universities. Anything you can think about when you come to Silicon Valley, you want to go to Google, you want to check out Berkeley, you want to engage with Tesla, you want to learn how the best companies were built. Here you go. Some of our speakers and representatives for this program are senior top managers of Hmong and VCs who have about 5 billion USD under management, but also they're going to be the judges for Sandhill Acceleration. So here's the discount code. Make sure to see the price difference. Sandhill Acceleration will be happening on December 18th, but will also likely be an event that will repeat later in the year. And Menlo Park University will be happening in March. If you want to get the visa and book the tickets, now is the perfect time before prices go up. And of course, we are happy to take the initiative to continue this wonderful event series, now with a slightly different branding. And thank you, Anna, for your amazing work. And we'll be happy to see you as well when we're going to be curating the next series.
Sure, Vika. Sure. Thank you very much. And I'm sure everybody will take advantage of this wonderful opportunity that's open today. But we have to know who the winner is, and that means startups have to pitch, so judges can pick who they like the most. And to lead the pitch session, I would like to pass the floor to my wonderful colleague Anna Filistovic, Partner Relations Manager at Network Silicon Valley Club. Anna, the floor is yours, and let's rock and roll and hear those wonderful ladies.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to see all of you today. Dear founders, you will have 5 minutes to pitch and 5 minutes for Q&A with the judges. Please keep your answer short so as many judges as possible can talk to you. And now I'd like to give the floor to our first company, NeuroAge Therapeutics. Kristen, your 5 minutes are starting right now. Please share your presentation.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Glorioso. I'm an MIT-trained physician and neuroscientist and co-founder and CEO of NeuroAge Therapeutics. We're a longevity biotech company that is reversing brain aging in order to prevent dementia, and this is based on the last 20 years of my research. And before I tell you what our company does, I'd like to tell you a little bit about why we do it. So these are my grandparents, and at the end of her life, my grandmother suffered from Alzheimer's disease, and my grandfather took care of her in the home. This had a really big impact on me as a child and led me to dedicate my life to coming up with better solutions for Alzheimer's. It's also a very common story. More than 70 million people worldwide have an age-related neurodegenerative condition, and that number is just growing. In a nutshell, what our company does is we are an end-to-end solution for personalized brain aging. We have a consumer-facing product. It's a test called the NeuroAge test that can tell you how old your brain is and your future risk of dementia more than 30 years ahead of time. And then we use the data that we gather from that test to feed into revenue and data into our Alzheimer's and mild cognitive impairment therapeutics and biomarkers program. So we think of ourselves like Tesla. Tesla is selling cars in order to gather the data for self-driving. We're selling a consumer-facing test in order to gather the data for Alzheimer's therapeutics. And all of this is based on the last 20 years of my research. And what we showed in large longitudinal cohorts is that people that have a brain age that's 5 years younger than their chronological age are 6 times less likely to have Alzheimer's in the future. And if you want to read more about that, you can do so in our publication. So you go to your doctor every year, you get your cholesterol checked for later risk of heart disease and your glucose checked for later risk of diabetes, but we have no way of testing your brain aging for future risk of neurodegeneration. So we've created the NeuroAge test for brain aging. It's a first to market test. Its comprehensive diagnostic testing includes proprietary blood biomarkers based on RNA levels of genes, brain MRI. We send patients anywhere in the country for those and in 4 different countries, and cognitive testing online using our NeuroGames software. We put this together into a super predictor using AI. It's already been trained on more than 500,000 people and is continuously learning. And then we can give people a brain aging score. So this is Max. Max is 55 years old. He has a neuro age of 51. He's 41% less likely to have Alzheimer's in the future than the average person his chronological age. You wouldn't want this information unless there's something you can do about it. So about 40% of your brain aging risk is due to lifestyle. So we give people personalized lifestyle and health recommendations based on their genetics and biomarkers. They can then come back and get retested the next year and show that they've decreased their risk. We have a beautiful client dashboard. You can check it out on our website. It has a 3D version of your brain. You can also get a 3D printed version of your brain. We're offered currently in 9 private clinics just since launching last month, and we're continuing to grow. We don't need FDA approval, but we are seeking it, and we have funding from the Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation and Gates Ventures to apply for that. The NeuroAge test has about a $2 billion market itself, and it provides resources to the more than $25 billion Alzheimer's therapeutics market. We're an expert team from top institutions. I was previously head of AI of a Stanford spinout. My team has background from One Medical, MIT, and the Buck Institute. We have an expert advisory board with multiple exits, key opinion leaders, and pharma expertise. We were founded in 2022 and so far raised 1.1 million. That's in venture, angel, and accelerator. We've been through Berkeley Skydeck and are winners of the National Institute on Aging Startup Challenge and the Stanford Longevity Company competition. We're currently raising a 500K bridge round, and that's to get to 250K ARR in the next 6 months. Will give us about 12 months of runway, and to hire our VP of partnerships full-time to help with that marketing. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Kristen, thank you very much. Let's start our Q&A session. Kelly, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, Christy. It's a very meaningful project. So what are the clinical outcomes and predictive accuracy of the test compared to existing Alzheimer's risk assessments?
Yeah, so we're in the same category as cholesterol testing. And so for Alzheimer's, there really isn't something like this on the market currently. We're first to market. It's part of why we've had so much success with these clinics, is that there really isn't a good alternative. So the best thing we have is just genetic for Alzheimer's, and that has about a 60% accuracy rate. Our test is more than 90% accurate.
Okay, great. All the best. Thank you.
Mariette, please ask your question.
Hi, Kristen. Great to see you. So is part of what you're doing on a pathway also to developing therapeutics based on the data that you're gathering, or will you be selling that to another third-party company?
Yeah, so I really didn't have time to talk about the therapeutics program, but we have started that. That's mainly being funded by grants at the moment. And we're in preclinical development for 2 anti-brain aging therapies. In cell culture and in animal models, we're partnering with big pharma on that, but it will be a true co-development project. So we're under NDA, so I can't tell you who those partners are, but they're major pharmaceutical companies.
Okay, and then one other question is, can you use brain scans from other companies such as Prenuvo to integrate with the cognitive?
Absolutely. So we can use Prenuvo scans, Ezra scans. If people have had brain scans for other reasons, we can use those as well, and it drops the price of the test. We can also use genetics that people have had from other companies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. The floor is yours. We can't hear you. Please unmute yourself.
Hi, I think I lost my connection somewhere. Okay, so I have a question. I really like the NeuroAge right now, but I really wanted to know that how does the NeuroAge test differentiate itself from other brain health and longevity focused solutions which are currently available?
Yeah. So there are companies that are doing pieces of what our test is doing. So Pernuvo does whole body scans. There's cognitive testing companies like CNS Vital Signs. There's overall biological aging companies like TrueAge. But there's really no brain aging test available right now that combines all of that. And then, of course, traditional medicine is reactive instead of proactive. So they'll really wait until you have a disease to even start recommending anything.
Okay, so may I know about your marketing strategy, how you guys are planning to do that?
Yeah, so I am well known in the longevity space. I run conferences as well. And so I am very much plugged into these private clinics. I've been presenting at 3 different conferences just in the last couple of months. And so we're rapidly, every clinic we've talked to has said yes to us so far. So from a partnering through these private clinics perspective, we're planning to be in 30 or 40 of them next year. And from a consumer facing perspective, we're starting to build out our affiliate links and marketing. So we're working with other biological aging companies that have huge customer bases to do webinars together and to cross promote through our newsletters. That's where we're starting.
Thank you. Thank you.
David, now it's your turn.
Hello. Yeah. The question I have is like, I know something, there's some sort of testing that people do that you can just like get a blood testing kit and then you take a sample and send it in. But it looks like your model requires actually going to a specific clinic. And if so, that seems like it means you need to invest more in the infrastructure in order to do the testing. Is that right?
So we're going to market in 2 different ways. One is through these clinics, and they prefer to do the blood draws, so because they can generate revenue that way. So we provide them discounts. They do the blood draws. But for our consumer-facing product, we send people kits in the mail, and we're working with the National Phlebotomy Network, and they do home blood draws at a convenient time. So we can do that anywhere in the country and in 4 different countries.
And so what other parts are there to testing in addition to the blood draws? I mean, you're doing brain scans and other things as well?
Yeah, we have more than 50 MRI partners. So we schedule people's brain scans for them. And we're actually in discussions with Ezra, which is a full body company, to be offered through the cognitive testing online and the blood draw. So those are the parts.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's continue in our chat. And the next company we have is Design League. Dear Emily, let's start. Please make the full screen. Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Emily. I'm the co-founder of Design League, along with my business partner, Lauren, where we're building a marketplace that is going to revolutionize the way people plan and design events. Our pathway to event planning is kind of a funny one. We actually met at Stanford Law School. We had visions, I think, of being big corporate lawyers. We got jobs in downtown San Francisco, and it wasn't fun. We didn't enjoy it, and we really missed doing something that was creative. I think we both have an entrepreneurial bent and wanted to build something together and build something for ourselves. So we dismayed our families and quit our legal jobs, and we started an event planning company in San Francisco, which we grew over 14 years to be one of the premier event planning, design, and build firms on the West Coast. We planned hundreds of events with $1 million budgets, everything from corporate events to wedding weekends for tech celebrities. And we developed a process for planning events that we really felt we could bring to scale and revolutionize the way that people planned events for everyone, not just the people who could afford to pay us $50,000 an event. So we sold our company and we started Design League. And part of the reason we were interested in building this product is because we realized that this is a market that is huge. People love hosting events. The event industry is growing. And especially post-COVID, people are realizing how important it is to gather in person, and bringing these sort of specialized hiring of vendors and design elements into a wider range of events beyond things like weddings. People are now throwing like giant birthday parties and special social events, lots of corporate events. events. It's a huge market, and we want to take advantage of it. We also realize that planning an event is operationally very challenging. It's an archaic industry, and it's very fractured. And we believe that we can, with our process, allow anyone planning an event to have the delightful experience you would have with a high-end event planner. Our process starts with a style quiz. So users who we call event clients come on our platform. They tell us what kind of event they're planning and the vendors that they're looking for. And then they tell us about themselves and their style. And as they're running through our style quiz and exploring our platform, we learn things about them that we use to match them with the vendors and services and products that they need for their event. So at our heart, we're a data company, and every interaction with every piece on our platform tells us things about our users that lets us help them have a delightful event planning experience. We believe that this is a problem that you have to be from inside the industry to solve. Like, we're the epitome of founder market fit. And we have built software on our own on the back end to tag all of the vendors, products, photos, and rentals on our platform with a nuanced set of style words. You can see here our software, so that anytime somebody interacts with something on our platform, it tells us things about them. And then we can use that to feed them into our marketplace. The marketplace is how we generate revenue on Design League. When users are ready, they ask to be matched with a vendor. We give them a little education about that vendor, and then also ask them the things that are most important to them about that particular vendor for their event. On the other side of the marketplace, when our vendors onboard, we ask them the same types of information so that we can use both of those matches in an algorithm to connect these people together and provide them a delightful experience. We also have our event clients review the proposals and make their deposits on site. So essentially, we're giving clients everything that they need, really great matches and all of the stuff for their event, and we're providing event vendors with quality leads that they expect from an event planner. Our growth strategy is working so far. We've launched our first vendor marketplace in California. We have over 260 vendors onboarded, and they're continuing to refer other vendors to the platform. And since we launched the client vendor matching last month, we have 28 event clients who have joined, and we're working on 14 match requests for them, and we haven't paid for any of those customers yet. Our path to revenue, as I mentioned, is based on this commission. So when people book vendors on our platform, we charge a commission anywhere between 5 and 10% on every successfully generated lead. Our goal is to plan 1,500 events on platform in 2025 and to grow to 25,000 events by 2030 and increase the number of vendors that each user is booking per event over time, and also the amount of commission that we can take as we build trust in the platform and success there. Our team, in addition to my business partner, Lauren, and myself, includes 2 full-time developers who are amazing, a product designer who's a founder herself, and we are supported by an incredible group of investors. Our pre-seed round was led by Charles Hudson from Precursor Ventures, along with Storyhouse Ventures. Our advisors are mostly from Pinterest and Airbnb, which are really great fits with our marketplace and have been incredibly supportive and helpful to us so far. And we're currently raising a $3 million seed round. Our goal with this round is to expand our California marketplace and also grow into our next marketplace, in addition to bringing on some additional team members in product and developers focused a little more on our AI integrations. And we're looking forward to making events amazing for everybody.
Emily, thank you very much for your exciting presentation. Now, dear judges, let's start, and I'd like to give the floor to Mariette.
Sorry about that. I was having trouble unmuting myself. Great pitch. So could you tell me a little bit more about the competitive landscape? Because obviously there's a lot of event companies out there. And so you have it looks like you have a good growth and product strategy, but how do you compare it to some of your competition?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So for us, we really believe that event planning is an operational problem that has to be solved by industry insiders, and we are the only event planning assistant, really, company helping people with insider knowledge who come from within the industry. In order to help people book the right vendors, we have to understand those vendors and their problems and what they need. And so for us, that's really like the core of what differentiates us. We are intrinsically like we know what both sides of our marketplace want and need. We also service all types of events. So we're social events, corporate events, and weddings. We use AI, but we consider it a layer on top of this sort of knowledge base that we have. Like we're not relying on it solely. And our core goal is to help people plan events, whereas a lot of the products out there that seem to be event planning platforms are really like, for example, wedding registry platforms, right? They're using event planning as like a way to get people into their registry product.
Thank you. Kelly, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anna. So user trust in the platform is crucial. So how do you evaluate the quality of this kind of event supplier?
That's a great question. Again, I think that's something that comes from the inside, right? So our first marketplace is here in California. The vendors that have joined our marketplace here are people we know, or they're being referred by other vendors that we know in our network. So as we move into additional markets, we will have a planner in that market that's sort of like we were before, who will help us build out our vendor supply in that particular market, onboard vendors, teach them about the platform, and then get them to continue to refer and endorse their network onto the platform.
Great.
Thank you. Sarah, now it's your turn.
Yeah. So I would like to ask you that how do you ensure that you are going to have the high quality vendors on board in your platform? And my second question is, I just need a quick answer on that one, so don't focus more on it. But how much, like what kind of AI integrations you guys are planning to focus in 2020-25, as you mentioned about AI several times today?
Yeah, so for vendor quality, it's something our team assesses, and we're just very qualified to assess that because we've been assessing vendor quality for 15 years. So we know a good vendor, we know what makes a good vendor, and we also know if a good vendor recommends other good vendors to us, they'll be good. AI is touching every single part of our platform. We use it to help us with searches, we use it to help us with image recognition, we have amazing color and design tools, we use it to help us generate advice for people. So it really touches every part of our platform, but we consider it a layer built on top of this like deep knowledge of how to do this that comes from us. Obviously, AI is only as good as the data behind it. So we're building the data set that will allow the AI to really revolutionize how every part of the event is done, from proposal creation to advice for clients to inspiration and design.
Thank you.
Thank you. Walid, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you very much. I really like the idea and the way you're deploying it. I've got a question regarding the uniqueness of every produce event. How do you make sure that, like my special event is not somewhere similar to the other? And the other part of the question, how do you monitor and manage the quality as you scale to other countries? Like, for example, we are in Dubai. If you come to Dubai tomorrow or expand, how do you manage the quality?
That's a great question. I'll answer them backwards. So we monitor the quality by entering the market with a planner and group of vendors who are very high quality. We know if we start with the best people, it'll lead us to producing the best events. And the great thing about being a data company is that we are collecting so much information about what you like that even just hearting a photo or telling us you don't like something or spending a little more time on a page gives us info about you that we can use to help style your event. No two events are the same. Like there are always tweaks, additions, and things that we can add for people. And so we're really able to refine and get to something that feels very special for each user and does not feel cookie cutter.
Thank you. And now, Cindy, you can ask your question.
I have questions regarding, so how does it play into the existing vendors kind of tech stack, such?
Yeah, I'll answer that quickly, which is that every vendor type and every different type of technology And so for us, that's something that is evolving for us. But what we're trying to build is something that can be something that they don't currently have right now. So it's in addition to whatever it is they're using.
All right. Thank you for your great presentation and answers. And now we are moving on to the next company. Please welcome Parallel Health and its founder, Natalie. Your time starts now. Please share your presentation.
Hi, everyone. The World Health Organization says that by 2050, over 40 million people will die from an antibiotic-resistant infection. And many people are surprised to hear that dermatologists are actually the #1 prescribers of antibiotics across healthcare, at least here in the US. They're prescribing antibiotics for chronic issues like acne, eczema, rosacea, hidradenitis suppurativa, and many more. So we provide personalized precision care for your skin. My name is Natalie Kalea Robinson. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Parallel Health. I started my journey at Stanford, graduated in 3 years. I have autoimmune disease in my family, which inspired me to want to work in health. And so I went back to Stanford to get my MBA. And since then, I've worked across different areas of health, mental health, pet health, and now human health. My co-founder, Dr. Nathan Brown, is a microbiology PhD by background. He was previously funded by the Gates Foundation and the Wellcome Trust, building phage therapeutics for bacterial-based illnesses. He was working on things like Shigella and cholera. And the one-liner on phages is that they're microbes that infect bacteria, but I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. So what do? Parallel is a precision health company leveraging microbial genomics, big data, and AI. We are a fully licensed teledermatology practice, and we're pioneering microbiome dermatology. And what does that mean? It means that we offer the best, most robust skin microbiome test in the world. Just like you have a gut microbiome, you also have a skin microbiome. It's an ecosystem made of bacteria, viruses, fungi, mites, and this ecosystem can influence your health, your skin health, and your health at large. We have the largest database on the skin microbiome to date using whole genome sequencing. This is proprietary. And we have biobanks of over 10,000 bacterial, viral, and fungal strains, of which 90% are novel. This serves as a product engine for us in the future. Our mission is to improve skin health and longevity with safer and sustainable precision solutions. And really, we're trying to reduce the usage of antibiotics, starting with dermatology and moving beyond. So I told you I would tell you a little bit about phages. So phages are microbes that precisely infect bacteria. They're like ninjas that can kill the pathogenic bacteria, but leave the good bacteria alone. So we use these phages for, instead of antibiotics, for things like acne and eczema, etc. This is a video. I'm not going to show it for sake of time, but essentially we have isolated phages that can kill bacteria within 24 hours or less. And so what I can tell you about phages is that they're actually given GRAS status by the FDA. It means generally regarded as safe. They're effective. They're safer and more sustainable than antibiotics. They're good for the skin microbiome. And you can actually combine phages with other actives. In cosmetics, you can combine them with things like vitamin C. In therapeutics, you can combine them with things like antibiotics to prevent resistance and to reverse resistance. At Parallel, we leverage the 6 Ps, which were phage therapy, peptides, prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics. And as a fully licensed teledermatology practice, we also create custom compounded prescriptions. We specialize in acne, aging, eczema, discoloration, hidradenitis suppurativa, and rosacea. We also are getting into body odor and hair as well. So today we provide testing, medical guidance, skincare, and prescriptions. And this is what our test looks like, along with a view of some of our products. This is our MD03. It's a personalized plan. It's a protocol that you can that you subscribe to. And this is what our skin health report looks like. We tell you your skin age, your diversity score, your resistance score. We can even predict how much or how many times you've taken antibiotics in the past. These are active phage serums, our peptide creams that are quite popular, and we sell actually through clinics and then also D2C. Last year, we were a TechCrunch Disrupt finalist, and we were named a world-changing idea in Fast Company. And today we've piloted our products in market, and our AOV is over $300 per customer. Our LTV is well over $1,000, and our returning customer rate is over 80%. But we also sell through clinics and functional medicine doctors, dermatologists, etc. Really, what we're doing on the back end, we have so much data that we're building a predictive health engine in skin that can fuel other lines of revenue, including therapeutics. I'm happy to answer any questions at this time.
Thank you very much for your exciting presentation. Mariette, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. Yes, that's very exciting. Thank you for sharing all that. Can you talk a little bit about the customer willingness to spend that much money for these treatments as compared to getting, something that's reimbursable by insurance, and whether you're looking at the get reimbursed, and just speak generally to kind of the issue of like sometimes the first customers that you can get more easily willingness to pay, and then being more difficult later on to get additional customers.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are really three buckets of customers that have really resonated with what we're doing. The first bucket are people who have chronic skin issues. They've been to a dermatologist, they've tried many things. They might have been on Accutane, antibiotics, etc., and nothing has really truly worked. And so they come to us looking for answers. And the one thing that we are 100% confident of is we can give you answers. We have a quantitative whole genome sequencing test that can do that. And so, to get in the door for the test, it is very expensive to us, the cost, but we price the test at $195. Which we think is doable now, and we have plans on lowering that cost over time with scale. The other groups are kind of the anti-aging biohacker groups who are willing to pay for anti-aging, and then the other group would be parents who have kids now that are 13, 14, 15, are starting to see skin issues, and they don't want their kids to be on antibiotics or Accutane.
Thank you. Sid, the floor is yours. Please ask your question.
Yeah. You mentioned that you have the largest proprietary data set on it. I would like to understand more around how you collect the data, and how have you made, how do you have a scalable process such that you are the largest data set? And second part is, what about the privacy and the security concern which comes around hosting those data and all the regulations?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we came out of the Illumina accelerator at the start of the company. So essentially, the first thing we did before anything else is we sponsored an IRB approved study on the skin microbiome. And we were able to have a very diverse, large population in the US, and that's how we collected that. When you talk about privacy concerns, what's interesting about what we do is we're not actually looking at your human DNA at all. We're looking at your microbial DNA, which totally makes a difference in terms of that security. So we are HIPAA compliant even still as a telehealth practice, but we don't have the same concerns or fears around kind of data or privacy, because we're not dealing with human DNA.
And the scalable process, like how you plan to become and remain the largest data set holder on this?
Well, one of the ways that we do that is we went consumer first, right? So we are, as we scale, we are collecting data from consumers to understand their skin microbiome. And we also collect demographic data and clinical data as a telehealth practice. In terms of, if you're talking about technical scale, we automate a lot of our proprietary processes on the back end. When we're processing, we prep the samples, we sequence them. A lot of that is through automation, and then we are looking to scale up sequencing as well, which the technology is getting better and better every day. So we look to take advantage of those of that scale.
Thank you, Prerana. Now it's your turn. Please ask your question.
Thank you so much. This is very exciting. Just a couple of sort of quick questions relating to your predictive scores. How do you account for sort of variability, in terms of biometric readings pertaining to, let's say, demographics, external factors, stress, environment, all of that? How do you mitigate the biases? And then essentially, are there any kind of known instances in your history so far where the predictive score sort of performs suboptimally? Thank you.
So, no, thank you for that question, Prana. Nice to meet you. We look all of that information when you're talking about quote unquote biases, we actually take that into consideration. So when you take your skin microbiome test, we also ask you for lifestyle information, your behaviors, people, everything from how many people do you live with to what is your diet like? How stressed out are you every day? And we have that data across a diverse population. So we're actually trying to predict what does your skin microbiome look like when you are a person with 2 kids, you're stressed out, you have a dog, and all of that. So it's all taken into account.
Thank you, Natalie. You can see the rest of the questions in our chat, and you can answer them here. And next in line,
Thank you
we
so
have
much.
Jack. Sophia, the floor is yours. The timer will start now. Please share your presentation.
Thank you so much. I am Sophia, founder of Indie Tech, and here to talk to you about supplier lifecycle management. Professional services is a $6 trillion industry used by most large organizations who spend on average between 15 to 25% of their procurement spend on this category alone. While in graduate school doing research, I discovered a massive blind spot, which led to our first patent. Procurement feels like they are managing risk through contracts and therefore aren't collecting data on the outcome of billions of dollars of spend. The risk wholly falls onto the business to manage with no central way of capturing delivery data. This leaves CFOs saddled with the bill for overspend, bilking, and misappropriation of funds. And so the problem when there is no data on the outcomes of the spend is that it leads to massive billion-dollar losses and scandals. As you can see here, Wells Fargo, the Canadian and Australian government are facing similar big scandals to the tune of billions of dollars. Introducing Indie Tech, we're the first AI-driven collaboration hubs for large enterprises to engage and track the performance of their professional services suppliers. We're creating the foundation of supplier performance data. When a large enterprise deploys their own hub, they invite their suppliers to join. For the first time ever, any buyer in the organization can seamlessly interact with approved suppliers. We then automate the entire supplier lifecycle and track contract performance in near real time. This foundational data paired with our proprietary patented models will allow us to act as an AI assistant, giving key insights into dynamic pricing, market trends, and when contracts are at risk of failure. Our ultimate vision is to become the FICO of supplier performance scores. To do this, I've brought together a world-class team. I've spent 15 years in financial services consulting, studied at the Smith School of Business in Canada, Stanford, and MIT. Mohit is from the leading supplier data company, Dun & Bradstreet. Asif is an industry-respected quant who's been a part of multiple exits, and he pioneered quantitative finance at Algorithmics. And then Molly, who runs our marketing, is from our biggest competitor, SAP Fieldglass and Ariba. Our advisors are also industry titans who've doubled down with time, resources, and personal investment. And with Indie Tech, anyone can launch their own collaboration hub to manage their suppliers or their clients, giving us 2 core revenue streams. Surprisingly, our biggest competition is actually deeply ingrained manual processes with insufficient automation. That's why there's no data of engagement outcomes. The current incumbents like SAP just aren't collecting this data. They lack collaboration and are generally perceived as outdated 30-year-old technology, deeply in need of change. They're stuck in Web 1. So by now, you know, consulting is a massive industry, but this is actually just the first category that we're tackling. Our patents are broad across supply chain. Our current pipeline alone is around $30 million. It takes 20 clients to hit 100 million in revenue. and this is a $30 billion industry. We're currently scoping our first major deployments at 2 of the largest consulting firms in the world. We're deploying 6-figure annual contracts there to meet their internal needs. And then we plan to co-author a white paper on our findings, co-sell together, giving us access to an additional 9,000 clients. Our system is built, patent protected, SOC 2 compliant. We've built out strategic alliances across the industry, including being backed by Microsoft. That's led to LOIs with Accenture, one nearing agreement with one of the big 4, and all of these follow the same model, internal deployment followed by co-sell. We're raising $3 million to focus on nailing customer success, hitting $3 million in revenue, and building out a repeatable sales model to capitalize on the opportunities in front of us. Our round is fully committed, and we're now hunting for a lead. So I'm Sophia Stone, inviting you to join us in pioneering supplier lifecycle management. Thank you.
Sophia, thank you for your pitch. Let's proceed to the Q&A session. And your judges, please raise your hands. Walid, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I think you're tackling a very serious problem. First question is this centralized or decentralized?
It's centralized. Our view is risk data is often pooled. That's how you reduce risk. So you can think of credit scores. There are a lot of examples like Zelle, where pooling of data actually gives you a better understanding of what's going on generally so that we can better predict disruption in the market.
Is it AI and quantum proof, future proof?
So we are using AI. I don't know that because we're using AI and have models, I don't know that we would say it's quantum proof. But in terms of generative, we are far more bullish on predictive modeling, and then predictive modeling being flowed into generative models so that we actually can have true agents who can help us make purchasing decisions.
Well, I'm asking this because we see similar models in sustainability, reporting, we see credit rating, stuff like that, which are going into, without the audit factor, just getting, sort of reputation ratings, sort of stuff on Web3. That's why the model is really good, but how future proof, 5-7 years down the line, if a VC invested today,
the answer
would
is
this be, or you
proprietary
need to sort of pivot? This was my question revolve on. Don't want to take much of time of the other judges,
Yeah, just quickly, the answer is proprietary data. That's really our foothold. This data is not being captured anymore, and it also makes us a big acquisition target. SAP is looking right now at collaboration. So I think that it's more of a benefit than anything.
Thank you. Matthias, now it's your turn.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, as a tech guy, I have always tech questions for this kind of software. Yeah. For example, how difficult will be to integrate your system into my company? For example, if I have also another tracking system for suppliers, how will be the process to integrate this with my company, for example?
This is strategically why we're focused on partnering with SAP's Coupas of the world and also system integrators. I think that it's much like a Workday where you would expect to have big integration work, which is actually a benefit because once you're installed, they're long contracts and it makes it very difficult to remove, which is why SAP or Ariba, for example, and Fieldglass have stayed so long.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Prerana, please ask your question.
So most of my questions actually got answered in this. I was going to ask you if SAP or Ariba, are you working with that? But I think more importantly, on the integration side, I mean, are you looking at integrating with the procurement, financial systems, kind of the broad, end-to-end value chain, or are you actually focusing on a particular part of value chain? And then what's your target segment? Is it large enterprises, or are you looking at sort of mid-size? So thank you.
Thank you for the question. So it really depends on the company and what systems they have. So the companies that we're working with now, it actually varies between a bunch of different integrations and companies who have largely manual processes and are looking for a single solution. We can do end-to-end or we can plug in. And so that is kind of our view is we can deploy tomorrow unless you need integrations, and then that depends on your configuration. In terms of industries, the bigger the organization, the bigger this problem. Usually medium-sized businesses are aware of their spend. This is a large enterprise problem, government problem. Usually what we found is it's highly regulated arenas, healthcare, pharma, government, utilities, and financial services is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ross, please ask your question.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Sophia, great presentation. As someone who is part of Johnson & Johnson supply chains, I find this very intriguing. I think some of the folks here already sort of covered parts of my question. Matthias sort of touched upon, your go-to-market strategy and partnerships with system integrators. What's your roadmap, in terms of going straight to digital teams or, IT organizations within these large enterprises? And
Yeah, so quickly, we actually believe in bypassing procurement and should be going to COOs, CTOs, and CFOs because they're the people who own this problem. Ultimately, procurement is dropping the ball.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yes, now next in line, let's move to Rick Salter. Let me introduce Loriana, and the countdown will start now. Please share your presentation.
No problem. Hi, everyone. My name is Loriana. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Rexalto. We have built an AI dynamic pricing engine for the car rental, vehicle rental industry. Before I go into our new venture, let me tell you where we come from, because this is not the first time me and my co-founders are building something in this field. We have previously co-founded one of the largest European car sharing company. The company generated 75 million annual revenue and probably the only one that is cash flow positive. So having been in this industry for over a decade, we intimately understand the issues of the industry and the challenges. And one of them is the pricing. Majority of car rental companies are spending tens of hours, hundreds of hours per month on building their pricing strategies, updating them on different OTAs, and they do it mostly manually. On top of that, rising prices of vehicles, uncertain and unpredictable residual values of vehicles, and growing percentage of electric vehicles are pushing the car rental industry to focus more on their core business rather than just reselling cars and getting their margins there. So we thought of using our expertise and have built an AI dynamic pricing engine for the car rental industry, vehicle rental industry, that takes into account companies' historical data, market historical data, competitors' prices, and many other factors that help us predict demand, things like weather forecast, booking information, flight information, etc. The market is huge. It's about 6 to 8 billion US dollars. We currently focus on the mid-size car rental and mobility companies in North America, Europe, and the Middle East. We identify different types of competitors, from those who offer just price monitoring, and that's what majority of companies are using, to generic price recommendations, so just taking into account competitors' prices, and to companies like ours, that there are 3 other companies that do AI dynamic pricing engine. What differentiates us is that we're patented here in US, and also we work both with car rental companies and mobility companies. And as you can understand, mobility engine and companies are much more complicated because you have mobile assets and the level of complexity is just times more. We offer 3 pricing as a service options to our customers, depending on the number of cars, the number of locations, the fleet management system they're using, and the need to integrate. Our go-to-market strategy is, I I would say simple. We heavily participate at different conferences as we have booths, and also I participate as a speaker. Revenue management and pricing is a hot topic. And we also partner with a lot of software companies, companies that provide software for car rental companies. They sell us as a plug-in solution to their customers, and we work on revenue share models. So they're motivated to promote us as well. We currently have about 20 customers paying and up and running pilots. Most of our pilots are with large enterprise, mid-size and large enterprise companies. We're actually hoping to close one company to convert it into a paying customer in December. They have about 80,000 cars. Our current ARR is about 200K. And yeah, we're raising the remaining 550K out of the 1.5 million pre-seed round. Happy to answer your questions and to continue the conversation after this event. Thank you very much.
Loriana, thank you very much. You'll have 1 more minute for the Q&A, and let's start it. Walid, the floor is yours. Please ask your questions.
Thanks, Loriana, for the presentation. I think you're tackling a very large problem for fleet operators today, and we're very interested to learn more about your technology. You've been in the field for almost 15 years right now, serving many fleet operators. I want you to run me through very quickly a client who has 30,000 vehicles, some of them they lease long-term, short-term, dynamic, car sharing, wherever. How do you approach this in a very simple step?
We actually we have two approaches. One is the company will tell us our strategy is the following. We want to be number one on the market. We want to have the cheapest available car, and they can have it for different lengths of rent, for different vehicle classes, for different codes, etc. Or we tell them, we will tell you what is the best price you should put for this class for this period, etc., to maximize your return. And we work both ways. They actually, it's customizable on our website where they can build different strategies and they can test different strategies for different locations.
So do you need data from them? What do you need from them as
we can work both with data and without data. So they can, if they input information, their login, their password from their fleet management system, we will automatically extract their historical data and use it to build their prices.
Are you integrated with like top players like Wellom, Gortam, UTAP and all, or?
We're integrated with 6 fleet management systems, and then we integrate them others as we get more customers. And we're integrated with different OTAs where we send rents on behalf of our customers.
Thank you. I'd love to discuss more on this. Thank you very much.
Super. I'll definitely approach you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Now it's your turn.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, Loriana. Great presentation. So from which sources do you obtain your real-time data, and how is the accuracy and timeliness of data from these channels?
So we obtain it from all the major OTAs, Kayak, Priceline, Discovery Cars, and all the others. Our customers can build a strategy per OTA, so they can have a different pricing for Discovery Cars, different pricing for Kayak, etc. Or they can have a unified price. They can say, I want to have an averaged unified price, and then we will give that as well. They can download the data, all the recommended prices in Excel, and just upload it to their system if they don't want to do integration. Or we can integrate with them because we are integrated with the fleet management system, and we will push prices to them or as often as every 5 minutes if that's necessary, but that's very few markets that need that. On average, it's like 1 hour or 1 day, every day.
Great.
Thank you.
Mariette, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Could you share your pricing models again? That went by pretty quickly.
Sorry. Yeah, there you go. Oh, no, that's not it. There you go. I'm happy to comment if you have any
Yeah.
questions.
What kind of feedback are you getting from customers on this pricing model?
Actually, like what you're seeing right now is after a lot of adjustments, right? So this is something that is well accepted by our customers. We like the enterprise customers that we have, they usually pay less than $1 per car per month because they have tens of thousands of cars, like up to $0.5 per vehicle. The smaller ones, they pay, I think our smallest customer pays us $9 per car. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sarah, the floor is yours. Please ask a question.
Yeah. Hi, Lorian. It's really great to see your pitch today. I wanted to know that how you guys ensure the revenue growth, which you are telling us over here as up to 5%, 25%. Like, what is the criteria to ensure that thing? Second, what is your plan, AI plan for 2025? How you are going to use it more than your model?
Yeah. So answering your first question, we don't guarantee the price. I mean, we cannot guarantee, obviously. If if we could sell, that would be selling drugs probably. But that's we put KPIs, especially with large companies. We put KPIs like our KPI for the next 6 months. We want to grow the revenue by 5%, and especially like for large enterprise growing revenue by 5% is a lot. And then we increase it. So we add different data sources, we implement different ML models, etc. And for many of the large companies, like the pain that we close for them is actually not only increasing revenue, but just doing this process optimized and not manually, because once you do it manually, you tend to lose some potential that there is. Answering your second question about our AI plans for AI for next year, we're using our AI technology mostly to learn from our experiences. So the more customers we have, the more data we have, the better we predict to make our next prediction.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Loriana, thank you very much for your great presentation. And now it's time to give the floor to Christy, the founder of Skill Cycle. Christy, your 5 minutes to pitch are starting now. Please share your presentation.
Great, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Christy McCann Flynn, and I am CEO and co-founder of Skill Cycle. What is Skill Cycle? Well, we help companies engineer performance and not just track it. What does that mean? I'm a former CHRO for over 20 years, and I was bogged down with so many point solutions that it couldn't make sense of anything. And it was very hard to be able to get all the feedback out of performance management and then drive it into the skilling and the learning that people need. So before I get into more of that, let's take a look at this at a glance. Currently, right now, we're at 2.4 million ARR, which is our goal for the year. We are probably going to land around 2.6 within the next couple of weeks. Our NRR 136. We have $21 million of expansion opportunity. We've grown 380% since we received investment dollars at the end of 2021, and our NPS score is at 80. Plus, on average, each one of our very small team of employees is generating 172K of that ARR. So enterprises of all sizes struggle. We all need some form of performance management, and we all know that we need some type of learning and development. But with all these many tools out there, they're just so monolithic, where it adds fatigue. It's disconnected to the feedback. There's no action associated with what you need to do next, how it's connected to your goals, how it's connected to the overall sentiment of the organization. And this is costing companies money, time, and dollars, close to 8.9 trillion, just because of all this data dying in these point solutions and never being enacted into skilling. It's why we have a skill shortage out there. We don't have the systems to be able to show us what we need to do next for employees to be able to do their job. So the problem is becoming even more urgent, especially with AI. The AI is creating new skills. Leaders know this. They're cutting back on managers, and graduates aren't up to the task. Right now, the biggest things that leaders are looking for as far as skill development fall within communication, teamwork, problem solving, creativity, and critical thinking. And this is where we really come in. We're able to take all that performance feedback and translate it into automatic learning for people to enact with our coaches, mentors, and our content. It's a big, wide open space for us, right? Because you have Culture Amp, Lattice, 15.5. We're in performance management, and they're now going towards further HRIS. And that's okay. And then we have BetterUp and many other point solutions that just do coaching and development that are going more into the mental health space. That's fine too. We're coming in and we're taking on the entire market of performance management, employee development, and tying it together within one ecosystem, which essentially is closing the gap. We make feedback actionable for all employees. And it's a huge problem. Just the US domestic TAM on this is 2.9 billion. And then when you look at our ICP, where we're targeting mid-markets, they close within 35 days at a 35% close rate, it's 1.1 billion. And so we're doing really well within this capacity. And this is essentially, what our go-to-market is that you could come on board with the basic elements of getting goals, engagement, and performance. And that's $9, very easy entry point. Or you could also come on and connect it all to get all that plus the coaching, mentoring, and development. So all that data is translated into what people need to do next. And we have Ada, our AI, who is helping us bring this to action. They're taking that data synthesis and driving it into the things that people need to do so that they're actually doing it and it's connected to their goals and everything that they're doing. And it's making a real-time impact. So we're making performance and learning very evergreen. With AI, we're going to continue to take this data. We integrate with all HRIS systems to be able to pool more data along with ours. Plus, we integrate with Salesforce, GitHub, you name it. All the tools that employees use, we're taking that data. It's developing the action plans with Ada, what they need to do, and then they're working with their coaches, mentor, and content. We didn't start this way. I was a scrappy bootstrap company, a coach marketplace called Go Coach, which was a service business. But we transitioned post-funding into a pure SaaS business and have grown substantially and introduced AI. Within this, you can see that by market segment, we were really targeting those mid-markets, but we have a huge tranche of enterprise too, which is really showing the significance of the consolidation, which is what we need in a lot of these systems. So there's not so many different point solutions out there for people to get the skills to be able to do their job. We're a team of HR and ed tech experts. A couple of us have already had exits too, which is very cool. And we've come together to really be able to drive and solve this problem primarily for the mid-markets. And you can see that we come with a lot of operational efficiency. When we got funding, we revved up and built the platform and started to scale. And then we were actually able to use AI to bring down a lot of the burn by half within the last year. So that's me in a nutshell. We're raising $5 million. Thank you.
Christy, thank you for sharing your innovative ideas. Let's start our Q&A session. Dear judges, please raise your hands in order to ask questions. Diane, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you for your pitch. You talked a lot about solving the problem for the company side. Can you speak to the retention on the employee side? It almost sounds like these companies, these enterprises are teaching these skills, but what is the outcome for the employee?
The outcome is that right now, when they get feedback, they don't know what to do with it, right? Have you ever been getting feedback from your manager? It's like, oh, you need to enhance your communication skills. You need to do this as far as your goals. And you're like, all right, where do I go? LinkedIn, learning to do a PowerPoint. Do I get a coach? Do I get a mentor? And then how do I translate this feedback into action that connects to everything I do at work? That's the issue. The data dies within these systems. It drives no what's in it for me factor, and it doesn't connect to their goals, their performance feedback, or their roles. And so they're getting that feedback. It's basically telling them what to do and why, driving them to the correct coaches and mentors and content to do it. It's managed and measured along the way, similar to any type of review or goal as to how they're progressing. And it shows those outcomes as how this is enhancing their overall productivity, how it's enhancing their goals, how it's enhancing that performance feedback. So we've made it a cycle, right? Instead of this chopped up process that has been going on for the past 30 years.
Thank you. Mariette, now it's your turn. We can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, my keyboard is sticky. Yeah, I guess my question is kind of similar. I don't really understand. I think saying feedback is actionable is good, but how does that actually translate? What are you actually doing?
So let's just go back here again. You get a performance review, whether it's formally or informally through Lattice. You get a lot of feedback. What happens with that feedback? Nothing. You're expected to do something, you don't know what to do. That feedback, that data translates into a plan that they need to act on. So let's just say the feedback is you're not good at communications and you're missing $2 million on your sales goal. That translates what you need to do, how you're going to do it with their coaches, mentor, and content. It creates that plan that's managed and measured with the employee, with the manager, with 360s and peers as to how they're progressing. And they're getting the skills within communication and within sales to be able to bring that feedback to life. It dies within these systems. The other thing is that with our other integrations with Salesforce and GitHub and Slack, people can be getting informal feedback. Oh, you really whiffed on that meeting. Your executive presence is terrible. That data automatically translates into a plan real time as to what they need to do and why to be able to work on their executive presence. That's going to help with their goals. That's going to help with the feedback and their overall role. Does that make sense, Mariette? I know we're so used to it all being chopped up in different systems. It's amazing what happens when it comes together.
Thank you. May, now the floor is yours. Please ask a question.
Thank you, Christy. That's almost like my dream when I worked on HR and AI before. I have a simple question. What's your definition about performance?
Definition of performance?
Yes. And also, we are in the very pivot point about right now. You know, we're questioning ourselves, is a human being or machine or animal, right? Yeah. So that's why we need to redefine this performance definition. So I'd love to hear your thoughts because we're in the tipping point right now.
Right. So in my mind, performance is data. You have gotten insights, whether it's formally or informally, as to what you need to do to improve in your job, to hit your goals, you know what I mean, to be able to fulfill your role and to be able to take the feedback that you're getting to improve. And so it's insights. And it's what happens with those insights that's very important because a lot of times those insights don't go anywhere or you get like crunchy granola generic training for masses on communication or, you know, leadership, right? So it's very specific that creates, you know, with ADA, that personalized development plan, that it shows you what you need to do to be able to perform better, how to do it. You're working with somebody individually, it's managed and measured, and it's impacting your overall goal progression. So it's really about the insights turning into action and translation as to what they need to do and why and how they're improving their overall skill set. Did that help, May?
Well, I want to hear the definition of performance. Anyway, okay.
Performance is insights. You have, in my opinion, your insights into how people are progressing and why.
Thank you very much, Christy. Dear judges, you can ask the rest of the questions in our chat. And now we have our last but not least company. Please welcome Ariel, the founder of Rescue. Let's start.
Hi, I'm Ariel Evans, and I'm the founder of Rescue. We provide an automated cyber insurance application for security, for insurances, and for enterprises. Does everybody see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, it's good.
Super. So the problem that we're solving for is that companies spend a lot of money and a lot of time and resources on providing risk assessments that are required by regulation. And cyber insurance companies use that same data, but they give questionnaires of 300 technical questions to their insured to fill out. That data is self-reported, inaccurate, and incomplete. It's an $80 billion market. And we can save companies who are small $40,000 a year, and if they're large, millions of dollars a year, because they don't consolidate these assessments across the enterprise. They do them piecemeal. What we do is we actually automate the cyber risk assessment and collect over 120 points worth of data. We use our Insight Scan and AI to do this. It reduces the cost by 80%, and it also increases the profitability of the insurance industry by 25% because they're paying out 30% in claims today. It's a very unprofitable industry, whereas property and casualty pays out 5. This 25% gap is the increase in profitability that we can provide with this accurate data. We address these two large markets because they need the same exact data, and it takes 30 minutes of the client's time. The first step is to do the inside scan. It's a piece of code that we provide to the organization. They run it on their network, and it collects all the data points, and then it sends it to our risk engine. Our risk engine does the financial quantifications of financial impacts related to maximum possible loss, insurance needs, compliance findings, cyber risk tolerance, and accumulation metrics. And we also have data related to the efficacy of the cybersecurity controls like multi-factor authentication and patch management, and the coverage of the tools in the organization to see if they're actually in place or not. With that said, we also can provide the insurance industry with the underwriting engine that they need to actually look at this data in its true context. Cyber insurance companies do not understand cybersecurity whatsoever. They're looking at 12 data points typically. We're giving them over 120. We sell this in a modular fashion for the enterprise. We have regulatory management, cyber risk quantification, assessments, third-party risk management, privacy, et cetera. So we're covering all the domains that a company needs to have. And we sell this from $25,000 to $450,000 per year in a SaaS subscription annually. On insurance, same idea. We sell several of the same modules, but then we have additional modules for the insurance company that they need, such as risk accumulation, cybersecurity limits, and we automate the cyber insurance application for them so that they don't have to do it manually. This is from $500,000 to $2 million a year. We have 5 signed customers, ARR 2.75 million. We have a pipeline of over 9.75 million, includes companies, logos such as AT&T and Quaker Houghton, which is a large chemical company. We sell directly today through an advisory board that we've set up of 200 CISOs, CIOs, CTOs, et cetera. We have some partner sales going on. And in 2025, we're going to move into strategic sales and distribution with Optiv and with CDW. This is our advisory board that has been with us for 6 years, researching everything. We actually do training in this as well. We create our own materials and books on cyber risk quantification. And these people are essential to the heartbeat of what's happening in our roadmap as well, what kind of features and functions they want to see down the road. In terms of competition, we blow them away. They're all using questionnaires. They're unable to financially quantify. There's no IT asset inventory, which is required for every regulation, and there's no objective underwriting data. We have partnerships going with AT&T, D.E. Shaw, and Corvus in the works today on different aspects of what we provide. And our team is very seasoned. Dr. Inchwater, our other co-founder, was the CEO of JP Morgan Chase Israel, 35 years in innovation. Ted Tomita, genius, he ran the US Air Force, Cybercom. Greg Kohler sat on all 3 sides of the insurance equation. We're looking to do a big bump up in 2025 due to the strategic partners and distribution that we're putting in place, and to grow that each and every year since it's a SaaS annual license. Very high margins, about 85%. Looking to use the money for R&D, sales and marketing, and G&A. Right now, we don't have any sales and marketing. We don't go to shows. We're raising 1.5 million, and this is what the roadmap looks like for fundraising.
Ariel, thank you very much. Let's move to our final Q&A session. James, the floor is yours. Oh, we can't hear you. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry, there we go. So yeah, I had a question. I see that you are working with Microsoft, or you've got telemetry from Microsoft, or how is that working with them?
For the Microsoft Pegasus program, Microsoft gives us about $500,000 worth of software each and every year and access to their sales teams.
Okay, but so they're doing similar stuff with a number of their own products. So is there a competition between you and, say, any kind of like insights that are going up from whatever, Sentinel, Azure Security Center, all of that kind of stuff that does?
No, we actually capture that type of data Our data is on quantification and the effectiveness of controls. There are point solutions, cybersecurity doing one thing.
Okay, so what's the differentiator then, for example, for a proactive service like Sentinel that identifies gaps and then essentially helps the people fix them?
Sentinel identifies gaps in one area. They don't identify gaps in the LDAP. They don't identify gaps in operating system versions. They don't identify gaps in MFA. We're looking at the requirements for a cyber risk assessment, and we're pulling all that data together that's required for the risk assessment, whether it uses NIST or ISO or any other framework.
Okay, and other software companies, SaaS companies that do stuff like that, like AWS does that as well with validations against regulatory frameworks.
No, they don't.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexander. Now the floor is yours.
Ariel, thank you. Good presentation. And can I ask you, what was your growth rate from previous year to this year?
We just started selling this year, so our growth rate is pretty astronomical.
Okay. And are you based in Israel or in the US?
We're in the US. We're a US Delaware C corporation.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Marriott. Now it's your turn.
Thanks. Very impressive, Ariel. I have a couple questions. One is, you mentioned that your competitors are all using questionnaires to determine the risk assessment factors. And
Yes.
what would be your assessment of their capability to implement some of the techniques that you're using and catch up? And I understand you in the past, you've had patents. Do you have a patentable technique that could create a moat?
Yes. We're patented. We own the cyber risk quantification methodology that we use. They can't use it. And secondly, they would need to be experts in cyber, in audit, in compliance, in risk, in privacy, in third-party risk management. They would need to know all the operating systems that we actually scan for development purposes, which is highly unlikely. It would take them about 10 years to figure it out.
Wow. Okay. And then, so you're using an advisory board to get to new customers. What's the cycle time for getting?
So we have
new
about
customers?
200 people on the advisory board that are associated with the firm, and they are acting as our design partners and beta partners. And now we're going directly to them for sales. So the 4 of the 5 sales that you see from this year were from the advisory board, and the other one was from a partner.
Okay. What is the sort of cycle time for decision making to get a new customer?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What is the cycle time for getting a new customer?
Depends on the size of the organization. First we establish budget and need. If it's a small organization, it typically goes faster, like 3 months. If it's a larger organization, it can take a year because it's an enterprise product.
Thank you.
Thank you, May. Now it's your turn.
Thank you. Such a great work. And then because cybersecurity is a data hungry game. So I'm wondering, how do you keep up, sourcing the data? Because
we have an advisory board of 200 people who are part of our research committee. Right now, our research is on cyber and AI. We are constantly keeping up to date with everything on our we have a legal committee that handles regulations, and we use AI to actually implement that as well. So we're able to keep up on everything, basically.
Thank you. That was very expensive, though.
It is. Well, it's a lot of work. I meet with them 3 times a year, each and every person. I want to know what's in their roadmap for this year, what pain points they have. And then many of them are involved in research. I have 54 of them on the research committee now.
Thank you very much, Ariel. Thank you very much, dear judges. Now I'd like to give the floor to Anna, our host.
Thank you, Anna. What an event. Ladies, I love you. I wish we have done more women-only events because I love the passion. I love the everything about this, about the pitches, and I love the solutions. I love the problems you are tackling. And dear founders, you can exhale. You have done it all. Nothing to worry about. Now, dear judges, you have 1 minute, even less, 40 seconds, to finish voting. please go to our event page. Make sure you moved this bar beneath each startup where you think is fair, evaluating investment potential of each company. You have heard 7 amazing pitches. You had seen 7 amazing women. So please evaluate investment potential. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Just move the bar and leave it where you think is your opinion towards the investment potential of this particular company. Please make sure you voted for all the startups for our algorithm to work correctly. In 20 seconds, we will be closing the votes. And after that, I will be asking you to give a feedback on the companies, because thank you. You have been asking lots of questions, and you have been writing lots of questions in chat. But startups here also value your experience. Many of you had seen thousands and thousands speeches of the startups. So please help our ladies to be better. Please help them to achieve their goals. Give a little feedback, what can be improved, or maybe you liked something, or maybe you liked everything. Please tell them, encourage them, motivate them, help talented women to change this world for better, because men obviously need some help in that. And so I'm starting final countdown. 10 seconds to finish voting. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So team, please close the votes. Thank you. Now, no one can influence anything. We will reveal the votes online after we will talk. You will see, and I also will see for the first time, how business angels category voted, how experts voted, how VCs voted, and then we will see who the ultimate winner is and who got all those prizes that way now. So let's talk about those wonderful ladies. I remind you that first company was NeuroAge and Christine. Second was Design League and Emily. Third one was Parallel Health and Natalie's. First one was India Tech and Sophia. Fifth, Rixalto, Loriana. Sixth, Skill Cycle and Christy. And seventh, RiskU and REA. All different ideas, different problems. Please, what you can say to each of the company, or to some particular company, or to all of them. Who would like to start?
I'll be happy to start. I just wanted to start off by saying hats off to your team, Anna, for choosing really fantastic female founders. I participated in a lot of these, and I have to say that it just, without question, all of these female pitches were fantastic. So I was really impressed with them. If I could start with Kristen's company, NeuroAge. I think it's a very exciting development, and the company has a lot of expertise in that field. I think I would have wanted to hear a little bit more about what their future plans were, instead of just the customer facing, but also the therapeutics that they will be developing, and also what they might be doing with that 1.1 million. And as far as the Design League one, I thought that that was a really excellent product and growth strategy. That in just kind of talking about how the system was fractured. And I agreed with some of the other judges as well, that I really wanted to understand a little bit more about what would be the transparency in terms of the effectiveness of each of the design participants. So maybe like with Uber or something, where people get rated. I think that was a question that some of us had. As far as Natalie's, also another fantastic presentation, and also company advice. I still would have a question about willingness to pay, and like what size of the market, because I understand it's a huge problem that she identified in terms of antibiotic resistant deaths, but are people really willing to pay for that? That was a question that I felt was a little bit unanswered. I can give someone else a chance, or I can go through the other ones. So cut me off if you want, but I'm happy to keep
You
going.
can finish about the companies, and then somebody else will follow up.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be
All
great.
right. So for Sophia for Indie Tech, I thought the idea was great, and you're identifying a really huge problem in the industry. I think as far as your pitch, there were a lot of words on your presentation, and so I found myself reading, trying to read your presentation rather than listening to you. So I found it a little bit confusing to follow. I wasn't quite sure who your customers would be. Was it the firms themselves or the consulting companies? So maybe that was just me. But I thought it sounds like a great idea. I just think your pitch maybe few too many words. And then on Rexalto with Loriana, another great pitch. I think I don't know that much about the car rental industry, so I'll take your word for it that people are primarily focused on pricing. That makes sense to me. You used a term, I think OTAs, I didn't know what that was. Some of it went by a little bit too fast for me in terms of the pricing and some other things. But I thought your competition slide was excellent. That was really good. And some people kind of overlook that. And I think that's a really important factor. So I think you did a good job there. On Skills Cycle with Christy, thank you for answering the question about how feedback was actionable. I think obviously you didn't have a lot of time, but I think for people that aren't in the HR industry, maybe explaining to us how it actually works and what the processes would be helpful, because I get the concept of tool fatigue and disconnection and skills gap, but it took a while to really understand what you're actually doing. Okay, last one is Ariel. By the way, you're the third person I've met in the last week with the name Ariel, which is kind of blew my mind a little bit. I think you did a great job with that. I also found that there were a lot of words that was a little bit hard to listen. But it was super, super impressive. Seems like you have a really great opportunity and hard to find fault with what you're doing there. Okay, I'll give someone else a chance.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you. You're so generous always with sharing your expertise. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Dear judges, please speak up. Yes, Vali?
Great, thank you very much, Anna. I think very high quality as we have always seen. I was astonished by the level of quality and the solution to tackle a lot of problems. I think based on the magnitude of the problem and how many lives is touched, I think NeuroEdge is doing really great. From my perspective, I might be a bit biased, because of the industry focus or whatever. But I think NeuroEdge Risk is doing great. I think cybersecurity is something that we really need to take seriously, and data preservation. We see a lot of data sovereignty, sort of mandates by many countries, and I think Rexato is doing also something great. This is my industry, so as I said, I may be a bit biased. What I have observed is that most of those founders, they've got very good founder to market fit. They have been very capital efficient in terms of where they are today and how much they raised before. And also they have been, sticking to their equity as much as possible. We see very small ticket size, that's also prove that they really believe on these ideas and how big they could go. Very, very interesting. We see very much less quality startups that are raising, tens and 15 millions dollars at this level. So I think everybody today here is a winner. I'm looking forward to see, the contribution of other judges and to see who are the winners.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Walid. And David, Sarah, sorry, David will be the last one because we have 9 minutes for the event to go. So David will crown it all. And then we will share the results and see if we have a little bit time, like after the sharing the results and announcing the winner, that then we will come back to follow-ups. Chat is all open. Please feel free to write everything in chat. Yes, David.
Thank you. First of all, I want to reiterate that I agree that of all the unicorn battle events that I think this was the best overall group that I've ever seen. So I really congratulate the women here. And I just had a couple of small comments. So on the new age therapeutics, I thought that was great. I think technologically it sounds great. I was very interested in technology. One thing I think might be useful is like I think the presentation went a lot into the technology, and maybe a little bit more could be added to like the business side of it in terms of the I just felt maybe a little bit more there, but overall really great presentation. On the parallel presentation, again, it's a very good presentation, but one of the things I noticed was I saw too much of the just reading from the slides. And so because they're reading from the slides, I was then reading from the slides as well. And so it's probably better to have the commentary be distinct from the literal words on the slides. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, David, very much. Matthias, I'm sorry, we will come back to networking after the announced events. Okay. Team, let's share the screen and we will see how judges voted category by category. So you see the companies and you see the category business angels. So let's see how business angels voted. They put Rescue up front. It got 7 points because we had 7 startups. So the 7 points is the most amount of points. And second place is for Narrage. Okay, expert board has a different opinion. Not completely. Rescue is still on the first place. Indie is on the second. Very interesting. And official judges, VCs have put Parallel Health up front. And Narrage on the second place and Rescue on the third. Okay, who is good in math? Who knows who is the ultimate winner? Our algorithm knows, and the winner is Rescue! Yay! Wonderful! All the results are official right now. From this point, when we close them on our site, you can go ahead and see them. And Ariel, your moment of glory, please tell us everything you want us to hear.
Well, first of all, thank you for everyone for your patience and listening to all these wonderful pitches. And thank you to my co-presenters who also did a fantastic job. I'm very excited, for them as well. I never thought I'd win this, so I'm just kind of speechless almost, which has never happened to me before.
You had a tough road to the event, right? With those
little things, but
Yeah. But cool. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, me too. And I'm really excited about speaking in detail to some of the folks on the call. I think there's some really good fits here to have further discussions, and it's exciting to me as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you all the judges. Thank you, dear companies. I wish everyone good luck. Congratulate you with the upcoming holiday season. Wish you all the best. And so the nature and the higher forces will be kind to you, bring you everything you want, guard your families, guard you. And I wish everyone success and really hope to see you in the future. We are not saying farewell, we're just saying goodbye, and we will certainly stay in touch. So I was really, really glad to see everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate you coming to our events, and see you. Have a great holiday season.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See
Thank
you.
you.
See
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
No group photo?
Everybody's a winner.
Yeah, no, Crazy John. Yeah, he always takes the photos. Bye. Thank you.